she gon' tell you how it is, cause she's Rick the critic. When she all up in your city, oh, you best not forget it. Let you know if she like it, and if she get with it. Let the whole world know and be the first to admit it. Let you know if it's good and if she dig it, cause she's Rick the critic. Rick the critic, Rick the critic, Rick the critic. She the first to admit it.
Hi, I'm Rick the Critic. Welcome. Blah, 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 blah. Today, I have my guest here is Marilyn Bradford, and she's written a book about beauty is black, but we're going to talk about some other stuff today. So it's chatting with Marilyn, and so as you know, as the critic, we do a lot of chatting. I chat with a lot of people, so it's always a pleasure, Marilyn, when I get somebody in here that wants to talk, and we can talk about a bunch of stuff. Now, before the program came on, we were talking about books, and we were talking about how you get your books in the library, and I think the question popped up in my mind just a minute ago. It's like, so do the librarians actually read every book that comes into the library?
You know, I don't know. I just know that when I took mine, they took mine and they read mine. They said they read it. They said they took it to the board, and the woman over them read it and said, no, this book would not go into our school. So I wanted to know why. And that's when she started telling me, first of all, it talks about they were going to kill this girl. I said, but they didn't kill her. And then it talks about, well, they were going to eat her. The hawks were going to eat her. I said, but they didn't eat her. And that's when she said, well, Mrs. Bradford, his name is L. Black, and her name is Beauteous Black, and then the stepmother is Ebony. If you had named them different names, you're just beating them over the head with it. So, you know, I got it. I knew what it was. It was too bright. Well, it's about black.
Oh, my.
So then I said to her, well, what about, I promise you. It really happened.
I'm thinking about Snow White.
I asked her.
I'm thinking about Red Riding Hood.
Yes,
I'm
the
thinking
Three
of
Little Pigs, Billy Goat Gruff, all of those. I said, what do you think the wolf was going to do to Red Riding Hood? And I said, you talking about? It was violent. I said, listen, the Snow White's stepmother told the huntsman to take her out in the woods, cut her heart out, bring it to her. But when that wasn't successful, she poisoned an apple and killed Snow White, and then someone came and resurrected her from the dead. And you have that book. So she just stood there.
That wasn't offensive, though. So it was so it was too black. You had black, and then you had Ebony, you had Beauteous Black, and then you had, it was just too black.
She said, those, if you name them some other names, and I understood exactly. Because all those names meant black. Ebony means dark black. And that's one of the words in the back of the book, Words to Know. So children will know what that means. So, you know,
listen, it's just, you know what, it's funny to the point because it's just so stupid. I mean, it's when you think, it's like, did she really say that?
I promise I would not lie.
I mean, did she really say,
yes,
you should have changed the names?
The names.
So if it had been Peggy, Susie, Annie, it could have flew.
Yes.
It'll fly.
She didn't give me any suggestions other than the names. She said, you're just beating them over the head with it.
Beating who over the head?
She said them. So I took it as her.
Oh, okay.
That's what I felt.
All right.
Because I told her, this is not going to offend black people.
It shouldn't offend anyone.
No, but it's not going to offend black people.
I just can't imagine. You just should have changed the names, Marilyn. Why did you just change the names? I think if you would have put, and you should have asked her. You were nice. I would have probably said, well, what do you think? I mean, what names do you think I should have changed it to? But I guess when you hear that, you just think to yourself, I guess in my mom think, did she really say that?
Yes, she did really say that. Really say that. But that's okay, because that's when I made up my mind even more than ever.
Yeah.
You are going to get this book out there. And so what if it caused a controversy? Everybody will want to read it. You know something? So I'm
I,
like, okay.
I can't. I'm telling you, I'm just in awe. I have just never, as that's a first. Just the names. You
Well,
should have just changed the names. And maybe she was coming from an agent standpoint, huh? Oh
I
no,
don't
because the
know.
book was
Yeah,
already.
it's there, so I can't change anything. I can't change.
No,
That's
you should
it.
have. No, you throw it away and you start all over again. What are you
No,
thinking?
no. The book has merit because even though it is a fable, it's not really real. There are parts in the book that are real. The very first part of the book tells about when the Moors invaded Spain and they ruled it for hundreds of years. Now that's true. So when children are reading that, and they go on, like this one lady, she said Moors, and she didn't know anything about the Moors. So she went to her computer right there. She said, oh my goodness. So it's going to open up eyes. It's going to make people look, and they're going to find out that the Moors did overthrow Spain. They did rule Spain. But I just made that the setting. This is when this story took place during that time.
You know, some things to me just, it's like, how do you not know the richness of your history? How do you not know? Is it? I guess maybe it's from different parts of the world that you may come. I know for us, it was very important on Saturdays that we learned about us. I mean, it was just very important. That was our Saturday class. You need to know how important you are. And I remember my children, we had this author, J.A. Rogers, that I just loved dearly. And he always gave reference to where he got the information and everything. And so on Saturdays, so I remember my daughter came home one day from school right here in Pasadena. And she said, Mother, she said, my teacher said there are no black people in Australia. I said, what? She said,
When did they leave?
she said, there are no black people in Australia. And I said, no, she didn't. I said, you misunderstood her. I mean, really, I said, you misunderstood her. I said, there's just no way that she would say something that stupid. And so she said, no, Mother. She said, because I told her that they were, and she went on. And I said, I'm going to call your teacher. I said, and if this is, what I'm saying, if this is not true, you're going to get it. Because now I'm getting upset, because I'm thinking no teacher, no credentialed teacher would say that. So I called the school and I said to her, I said, listen, I'm Ariel's mom. And she said, oh, I did tell Ariel that. I said, I couldn't even get off the phone fast enough.
Did she really say that?
She said it to me. She sure did. She said it to me. I couldn't believe it. I told her, I said, I am on my way down there. Do not leave. She says, I said, no, you will not leave. Do not leave. I want to see the principal. I want to see you. I couldn't believe it. And I actually had to go down to the school and I said, now say that again in front of the principal because I know that I didn't hear you correctly. I know I didn't hear you right. And she repeated that. And the principal said,
But
I immediately took Ariel out of that class.
Racism is very, very deep. It's very, very deep. And people have been racist so long, they think that is it. They don't see, we say the word racism, but they don't see it like that. They see it as they are superior. They have been told that all their lives. They're superior. They're better than everybody. But you know what? I probably shouldn't say this, but when you speak of America, you speak of two races, black and white. It's never black and Hispanic or black and Chinese. America is black and white. We are the ones that people are afraid of. We are powerful people. When I was doing research in this book and I read about the Moors and I read about, I think it's pronounced Hercules, not Hercules, but Hercules. These were powerful black people that honestly, trained the Europeans because they were savages. This is on, you can Google it and you can read it. I didn't make this up. So I'm telling you now, so if anybody's out there, they can go on, Google it, and they will see about the Moors. These people went into China. They trained the Chinese. I mean, they were so brilliant. And but when they got to America, they made him white, and he's holding up the world. But see, it was really black people. They were these great masterminds and teachers. But they're not going to tell us that. In our history books, we're not going to find out anything about them being black. We're not going to find out anything about, I mean, they're not going to make it common knowledge that the Moors ruled for over. I mean, and they didn't conquer just for a few years, 800 years?
But let me tell you, this is what I have found, Marilyn. It's not that it's not in the book, because it's in the book, but you got to know what you're reading.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Because when you talk about Moors, I know and you know, but most people just look and say Moors and they just keep on reading.
That's true.
They keep on reading. Same thing with what is Alexander Dumas and the Three Musketeers, E. Cummings and his fairy tales, on all these different peoples. But what I'm saying is if you don't know, you know, you just think it's all just
because what they present to us. When have you seen a black musketeer? When they do the Three Musketeers?
Well, listen. Look. Let me tell you something. And you still have to read. I mean, I get bent back. Let me tell you something. I know how you feel. I get bent back every time I see that nativity scene with Jesus in the manger with these three wise men. That thing just blows my mind. It's like, where does it say in the Bible about three wise men? And where in the Bible does it say he was in a, you know what I'm saying? In the Middle East, mangers are in the house.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
So you have to know when they talk about mangers, everybody lived in the house. They pulled the animals out and washed the place down. But in the city of David, where Jesus, that was his lineage, when they came to the town, they were doing census. So people, it was crowded. But when they talk about it, poor little Jesus in the manger, he had nowhere to go. If you are my sister and you come to the city, this is my city, are you telling me that no one will open a door for you?
Well, they said it was just very crowded, and that's where he had to stay. But
it wasn't a manger. We got a station break. We got to come back to this, Marilyn. That's my pet peeve. And listen, let me tell you, I get it.
Well,
get your popcorn and stuff. Come back. We're chatting with Marilyn Bradford. We're talking about everything, religion. We're talking about racism. We're talking about a lot of stuff. Come on back. We'll see you in a few minutes.
It is about balancing our choices between the gray of the concrete jungle and the stunning beauty of the real one. Between a stoic facade of granite and the fury of the canyon. Between deafness and the presence of breathtaking music. Between blindness and blinding beauty. It's why there's EarthShare, the simple way to find balance. EarthShare is the workplace giving program bringing the leading environmental groups under one umbrella. Support EarthShare, support them all. EarthShare. Please ask your employer about workplace giving. To learn more, please visit our website.
And we're back. If you're just tuning in, Marilyn and I are chatting, and the smile lady's in the background. You can't see her, but we're chatting about religion and chatting about how these stories come about and how they just get misconstrued. But again, like I'm saying, with the Moors and with Hercules and all of these things, you know what I'm saying? Because we are educated
Mm-hmm.
and we know who these people are
Mm-hmm.
and how things got started. When you talk about what is it, Haley Celeste? You
Yes,
know what I'm saying? When you
yes,
talk about
yes.
all these different people, you know, we know that these are black people.
Yes,
Not a lot of people
yes.
know this.
When you look at the Egyptians and all this braiding, these people were black people. You know, but we don't know that, and they don't tell us. They don't, and they want to hide things from us. Because if we really found out, you know, if somebody just came today and said, look, you have just won $1 million, I don't care who's saying anything, your attitude is going to change. You're going to get happy like, oh, a million.
A million?
You know, but you
My,
know what I'm
my.
saying?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
if we knew, we would feel different about ourselves. We would have a different feeling about who we are.
I think, but Marilyn and not everyone agrees, but I think that's changing. I think that more and more people are becoming educated. Not a lot. I mean, you see it gradual, but now when you look in high schools and you're talking to the children, I know with my grandchildren, I'm always just and then my children know, so they're always telling them how great they are, how important they are to the world, what a contribution just them being born is a
Yes,
contribution
yes,
to the world,
yes.
and we just need to tell our children. Even when I was over in Israel, and the puffiness, when you just said if you tell somebody, the rabbis there, I mean, as they walked through, it was like, I'm the chosen one.
Yes,
I'm
yes.
God's chosen people. I mean, you could see it. And
Yes.
then I saw the Palestinians and I saw the Muslims. Now the Muslims' attitude was like the product of Ishmael from Abraham, and they had that regal. It was like, you're not the chosen one. We're the one. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
And that
yes.
goes back to just what you were saying,
Yes.
if you know. Then there were the Palestinians that were, kind of in the middle, like, well, we got something too. We got something too. But the attitude of the Muslims and the attitude of the Jewish people was very, you could, I mean, they walked, even the Arabs, even their walk was, what I'm saying, very, very regal. And then, like I said, the rabbis, they were just, just very staunch, straight ahead, but someone told them
Of course.
they were chosen,
Of
the
course.
chosen people.
Of course.
So needless to say, when I came back, I said, yeah, biblically it says that you are God's chosen people. It says that, but I also happen to know that we're God's favorite.
Well,
We
they
are His
were at
favorite
one time.
people.
They were at
you
one
know.
time because they're the ones that killed him.
Absolutely. Now, they and if you say that, it could be real.
No, well, I mean,
well, yeah.
I didn't make it up. It's right
Absolutely.
there in the scriptures.
Absolutely. But my point is like you said, when you know who you are, you know what I'm saying? Yes, things do begin to,
Yes.
they are very
And
different for you.
I just think that we just should pass on to our children how valuable they are,
Yes.
and because, like I said, I've always just been very happy. I've never wanted to be any other color. I just liked being who I was,
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think, and I say this because I even work with women too.
Okay.
And I say to every woman has something that's so unique. That's just her, just like that fingerprint.
Yes.
That's how unique they
Yes.
are. They may be similar in ways, but they're all different, and they should just gravitate to who they are. Do you know?
Yes.
Because all of us have something that's so wonderful.
All of us.
It's,
I think what's got to happen, Marilyn, is these kind of books, they have to come, people have to start read. I mean, we're kind of getting away from reading. I was just doing some things with the library, and I was, you know, we got Kindle now and all these other things. I personally always feel good about a book in my hand. I just like the feel of a book and turning pages. So, you know, now with this internet and computer age, our children are going to miss out on quite a bit more.
Yes, because they're losing the ability to communicate.
I've seen that. I can text my grandchildren. They will return my call immediately, my text. I can call them on the phone, and it's like they've never even, it's like they don't even acknowledge the call.
And adults too. Some adults are like that. I have met people that they will text you. Continuously you get text.
Yeah.
You meet them face to face, they have nothing to say.
Isn't that interesting?
Yes, because see, they've lost that ability. You know, you have to keep doing something over and over again to keep it going.
Yeah.
So if you don't, they've just lost that ability to do it.
Well, what I've been doing for the past few months is, you know, with the cell phone, you know, it's so easy just to hit a number. So now what I do is I just memorize a number and I just actually dial the number like we used to. And what I'm doing now is taking the phone when I'm out and just trying not to use it, because I keep thinking, what did we do before? You know, we waited until we got home, and when we got home, whoever was calling would call back.
That's right.
And you talked on the phone, and if you were talking on the phone too long, there was that little interruption where the operator comes in and says, "I have an emergency call for da 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 da."
Yes.
And you release the line, and you know what I'm saying. But we didn't miss anything.
No, we didn't.
But now it's almost like we can't do anything without a cell phone. We cannot.
No, technology has taken over.
And I see it.
We have become just robotic. Just little robots.
Well, you know what? I think, and I just hope that it doesn't get so drastic that we have to go back to the basics. I think I want to just go back to the basics voluntarily. I don't want to have to go back to. I don't want something so drastic to happen that I have to remember to, you know, go to the payphone, you know, actually go in my neighborhood and find out where's the payphone and actually, you know, hit the digits. I you know, just things that I mean, because everything is moving so quickly, you know, we're just kind of taking it for granted.
That is true.
You know, so what do you think? What do you think we're going to have to do?
I think technology is we're going to be advancing more and more. I think that's going to happen.
Absolutely.
But you know what? You are you.
Yeah.
And nobody can control that.
Yeah.
If you don't want to be on the cell phone, that's how you are. And people begin to know you like that. Like, don't be calling, because you know she ain't going to call you back, and she going to do, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
so
right.
So you develop your own person. And they will begin to know, you better not do that, because she's not going to do that. She's not going to return that.
Yeah,
you know?
she's not going to answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then we would just have to be who we are. And if we have children, help them to see the value of it, how we feel it's valuable.
Yes.
And pass that on. Because if they're young, they may not get it, but it's something about kids. When they get older, they're gonna say something that's gonna sound just like you coming out their mouth.
I've heard it, I've seen it already.
No.
It's like, did she say that?
That's right.
You know.
So it is just like you were talking about the Bible. When they will get old, they will not depart. Because as they get older, all those lessons that you've crammed in there, they start utilizing them later. They start feeding off of that information. And they start saying, my mama said this, and they didn't say it when they were young. But when they get older, all the lessons you've put in, they start retrieving. And that helps them maneuver to life.
Yeah, your mother's crazy when you get a certain age. You know?
Oh,
yeah. She's crazy.
Yes.
She's nuts.
Oh,
she doesn't know anything.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh,
She's crazy. Yeah. But now, for me, I always equate wisdom to my grandparents. I just always felt like they knew what they were talking about. Even if my mother was crazy, my dad was crazy, my grandparents, they knew everything.
But you know, they had lived a long time.
Yes.
That is one thing when it's in this book, this grandmother. The grandmother speaks to these daughters, to the son, to his wife. She tells them in the beginning, if you don't watch it, this is what's going to happen. And all those things take place.
Wow.
So it's the
The
wisdom,
wisdom.
that she, yes.
The wisdom.
Now the daughters didn't see it at first, but towards the end, the daughter goes into the grandmother and said, now I understand what you meant.
Yeah.
See, because she got older. So, yeah.
It's the wisdom.
Yeah.
The wisdom.
And I'm right now in my age, I'm 74 now.
You got to be
So
kidding
I
me.
say-
Marilyn,
I
you're
s-
kidding me.
So I say to people sometime when they're talking to me, I said, listen here, I'm old enough, I know what I'm talking about.
Marilyn, this is what we should have been talking about. We should have been talking about these trade secrets of how you look so young. Oh, Marilyn, you got to be kidding me.
No,
This is
no.
what we should have been. Now, this is a show. This is a show. Look, I mean, oh, Marilyn, you look
No,
fantastic.
No, my daughter is 53, and one is 50, and one is 48, and one is 35. And I have 11 grandchildren and 6 great-grandchildren.
See, Marilyn, see, I'm waiting to get that age that I can say anything I want to say.
That's
It's like
right.
I'm almost it's like I can say whatever I
That's
want
right.
to say.
Since they think you're crazy anyway, just go on and be crazy. Say whatever you want.
Whatever you want to say. I love it. See, we should have been talking about beauty tips. We should have been talking about how you live. I asked this lady, she was 90-something years old. I said to her, I said, what is the secret? She said, keep your mouth clean and exercise. I said, keep your mouth clean? She said, yeah, keep your mouth clean and exercise. And then I thought about it.
Yeah.
Not just physically,
Yes,
but
yes,
also, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Keep it clean.
Yes.
And she said, and you live a long
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
And she was just moving around. She was so surprised. She was moving around and she was talking. And I said, wow, this is great. It's almost time for us to go. And as usual, I mean, I have such a good time. I love doing these shows. I love doing this show because
tell.
it's
I
just
can tell.
fun. Whenever it doesn't become fun, I just, I love doing it. But Marilyn, thank you for coming. And
Thank you,
please,
thank
I mean,
you,
when
thank
this,
you.
after we've talked about this, but when you get that product line, please, you'll come back.
I promise. I will.
Please tell me you'll
I
come
will.
back, because
Yes,
I'm
yes.
telling you, we got so much to chat about. I'm thinking about this year, I want to do some things with 3 or 4 women, and you right in the age group, and we're going
Oh,
to sit down and have a
thank
hen
you.
party
Oh,
and
that's
just talk
fun.
and just
That's
have a
fun.
great time.
That's fun.
Thank you again, Marilyn, for coming. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for this last year. You guys were great. I love the fact that when I see people and they say, yeah, we watch your show, it's like, that is great. So thank you very much for tuning in. Look forward to talking with you next time. Thank you and good night. And Marilyn, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
70 what?
74.
Oh gosh, I should be.
She gon' tell you how it is, cause she's Rick the critic. When she all up in your city, oh, you best not forget it. Let you know if she like it, and if she get with it. Let the whole world know and be the first to admit it. Let you know if it's good and if she dig it, cause she's Rick the critic. Rick the critic, Rick the critic, Rick the critic. She the first to admit it if she can't dig it, cause she's Rick the critic, 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 the critic, Rick 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 the critic. Rick the critic, when she come into your place, yo, you best not forget it. She gon' tell you how it is, cause she's Rick the critic. When she all up in your city, yo, you best not forget it. Let you know if she like it, and if she get with it. Let the whole world know and be the first to admit it. Let you know if it's good and if she dig it, cause she's Rick the critic, Rick the critic.